Well, good Friday morning to you. Chris Hare here, the world champion crypto cowboy, bringing you a weekend update for Ethereum. So we're kind of setting up for a trap, and I'm not real sure which way it's going to go. Are we in a bull trap or are we in a bear trap? Well, the charts are really going to lay that out for us. I'm going to start off with the hourly chart, work all the way up to the weekly. So I'll give you some short range here and now targets, and then we'll look at the weekly, kind of try to figure out where we're going to go from there. But we're going to move on and start off with the crypto fear and greed index. Here we go. Currently at a 21. Yesterday we were at a 24, so we've gone down just a little bit more. But what I use this for is I buy when we're in fear. I put small spot purchases when I'm in fear, and then I'll wait for them to get up to greed and I sell them. And it's worked pretty well for me in the past. When we hit extreme fear, I'll usually buy just a little more. And that's what I use it for. It measures market sentiment, tells us whether people are scared or they're greedy or what's going on. So that's kind of what I use it for. But I went ahead and added an exchange. This is BitUnex. You can see I bought 60 bucks in Solana, 60 bucks in Ethereum. Currently, we're down about 3.8% on it, but we'll keep up with this and see what happens. Moving on to an altcoin season index. Also, if you need an exchange to trade on, I do have a link for BitUnex. You'll get a deposit bonus with your first time deposit, and it'll give you some better percentages off of your trade fees. But moving on to the altcoin season index, currently at a 26. Yesterday we were at a 23, so we moved out again. Looks like there may be some buying going on. People kind of think maybe we're getting into a bottom. I'm not sure, but that's what we want to see. And what we need to see is it get over into these lighter blue and darker blues, like 55 last month we got into, and then the face melting run in November. We got all the way up to 87. But let's get into the meat and potatoes now, what you guys came for. We'll start off with the liquidation heat map. This tracks market liquidity. This is what the market makers use to move the charts, and all they're after are your liquidations. So you can see everything above price action is a short trade. Everything below price action is a long trade. And there's not a lot of bright pockets of liquidity left to the upside. There is some here right around 3,800, but you can see there's some brighter pockets down low. I think they're kind of getting ready to go get those. Cumulatively, 2.16 billion of short liquidations to the top side. To the bottom side, 521 million. So there's still a clear imbalance. They haven't decided to let this thing go yet. I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to do, but we're going to get to the bottom of it. We'll start off with the charts. I'm going to start off with an hourly today. I post all of these charts in the crypto school. You'll find that link to my description, and also post signals when they arise. I made a note about the head and shoulders pattern that you're looking at here, and we're about to break that down. But like I said, you'll find the link to that in my description. Come over and hang out with us. It's a good time. But you can see I marked this. We've put in kind of a head and shoulders, and I've redone this descending channel just so it lines up on the hourly. But you can see we put in a head and shoulders. The validation point right now is right around $3,200. But what you can see, we've came up, tested the top of this channel. What we need to do is for continuing momentum is we need to break out of this channel. We need to retest somewhere around 3,200, 3,300. And then we need to break through this 50 moving average, simple moving average. That takes 50 of these candles, puts a fluid line on the chart, works as excellent support and resistance. The white line is a 50 smooth moving average. It basically takes a composite of the 50 simple moving average and the 50 exponential average that I don't really use, and puts a blended line on the chart that works as even stronger support and resistance, I think. Red line's 200 moving average. Takes 200 of these candles, puts a fluid line on the chart, works as excellent support and resistance. So now laying all that out, what we have to do is we have to get through these 50 moving averages. What we need to see is us get up to this golden zone about $3,300, $3,400, consolidate, break over this 50 smooth moving average. Then our targets are 3,500, 3,553 to 3,650 on the hourly. You can see the daily 50 smooth moving average is still quite a ways up here at 3,900. So until we cross that line, I lean on the bullish side, but at some point we've got to come up. If we reject off of the top of this channel, we're headed down, guys. We're going to validate this head and shoulders pattern. I've got it marked for about $3,000 for a target, because what you can do is take a line from the top of the head to the bottom of the right shoulder, drag it over to your breakout point. Now it's going to be moved down just a little bit from where I was looking. So still right around $3,000. But next stops will be 3,200 to 3,100. If we can't consolidate and bounce out of that, We're headed to this $3,000 target, and I probably think they're going to want to test out these $2,900 to $2,700 targets as well. Hopefully, we can set in a higher low here. That's kind of where I'm at. If we drop down and hit these extensions or hit this $3,000, it sets up for a corrective consolidative move, very similar to what we saw before we saw this dump we had at the beginning of the week. So that does raise some concerns. We're kind of in the middle. It's really kind of hard to say where we're going from here, but that's what you need to be aware of. Moving out to the 4-hour chart, I went ahead and left Smart Money Concepts on. You can see we're trying to break out the top of the channel, and we haven't done it yet. If we can, like I said, we're going to go up and test these 50 smooth and simple moving averages on the 4-hour. They sit in the 4-hour golden zone around $36 to $37. This box should be right here. There we go. You got a bearish fair value gap there, so I'm a little concerned we may reject. That's why I'm kind of starting to think that this may be rejection. We're going to put in a lower low, and then we're going to put in a lower high. That's kind of what I see right now, but it's still be determined. We can get up here and consolidate 4-hour golden zone. Next stops, get over these 50s, get over the daily 50 moving average. Then we're looking at tensions on the higher side. Those are $83,000. That's where we're at. We're going to make a call right here on what's going on, but those are your options. Move it out on the daily a little more. You can see the 200 moving average. We've tested it 4 times already, and generally what happens is when you keep banging on these, you eventually fall out the bottom. So that sets us up to go down to these lower targets, $3,000 to $2,600. The weekly 50 smooth moving average sits right out at $3,020. We really got to hold that, guys. If we don't, I think it's ugly, and then there's a possibility that we start talking about this cycle being over. Taking the bias out of that, if we can bounce off this 200 moving average, our next stops are to get over these 50 moving averages on the daily. Going to move the line up to where they are, right about there. So that's about $3,900. So what we do is get in this golden zone, break out, get over these moving averages. Then we're looking at about $4,400, $4,500 on up to $5,400 to $6,100. So that's where you're on daily. It doesn't look good, but our hope is this 50 smooth moving average. If we can hold that and bounce out, still in bullish territory. Go out long left smart on, so you can bounce off of those 50s. We're right in the middle of a fair value that we bounced out of. So this could be the end. Here's I've got some theory drum, and we'll have to be working on wave. I do believe what we have to do is we can't really below $2,700 a day and break a move and then take it lower. That's why I still think there's hope. We're probably going to see just a little more downside over the weekend. But if we don't, we bounce off this week, then we are at up $5,900, $7,100 with the possibility of about $10,000. So that kind of closes it out for ETH. That gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on. I did take some shorts last night on that rejection off the 50. I've taken profit. I've set my stop losses at break even. If they stop, they stop. You guys know how I feel about weekends. If I can get in on a trade Thursday, I'll let it ride through the weekend, but I won't open any new trades on Friday. Saturdays are junk. Sundays you usually end up right back where you were on Saturday. So I really don't mess with it. I want to take a good shot and see that I have some real opportunity to make some money. But that's going to wrap it up with you for ETH. I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe, tap the bell notification. You'll get notifications as soon as we upload the video. And don't forget to leave us a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and I really enjoy reading your comments and figuring out what you guys want to see and what you think about what I'm doing. But I'm going to wrap it up for now. I got to go up to the World Show, see a horse show today. I'm pretty excited about that. Running for $75,000, guys. It's pretty exciting. But I'll keep you posted on that. Maybe I'll have some videos to show for you guys over the weekend. But I'm going to end it right here. Chris Hare, the World Champion Crypto Cowboy. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you down the road.